try a different angle. Close up, a little more personal. Today we're going to be talking about the PS5 reveal. I thought I would give my thoughts and first impressions and opinions, and put some things I want the PS5 to have. The first thing I didn't like about the reveal is it was like 2 hours long, and the first hour was waiting on Sony to start. I thought that was kind of lame. You're going to start a live stream and make people wait an hour. You wasted an hour. You couldn't have chopped up that first hour. You couldn't have cut that first part out after you live streamed it. But whatever. They showed Grand Theft Auto 5, which I think is kind of cool that they're bringing it over to the PS5. But it's kind of lame. But they're making it free. They're releasing it on the PS5 for free, which is kind of good and kind of bad because people have already bought it on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4 and the PC. I know they're going to release it on the PS5 for free after everybody's already bought it. But if nobody bought it, then they wouldn't be releasing it for free. So. And next, they have the new Spider-Man game, where Miles from the previous Spider-Man game is going to be Spider-Man now. It didn't show any gameplay, so I don't really have any thoughts on that. I don't really care. Other than that, number 3, they showed Gran Turismo 7. I don't care about that game either because they didn't show any gameplay, and I don't really like racing simulators. I like Twisted Metal and more arcadey type games. I guess Need for Speed Paradise, or no. Was it Burnout Paradise? Yeah, Burnout Paradise or something like that. The one where the objective, instead of racing, you had to crash into as much stuff as possible. And the more you crashed into stuff, the more destruction you caused, the higher your score. I like that game. That game was fun. Maybe if it was a drag racing, if there was a game that was a drag racing game, I'd like that more. I grew up with games like Need for Speed Underground 2 and Midnight Club, where there were street racing games, and the higher you got the higher in place you got in the race, the more money you got to upgrade your car, and you could start out with this junky, beat up car and upgrade it and make it this $1 million car, and it was cool. I like games like that. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I'm glad they're bringing back Ratchet and Clank. Cool game. Game's been around for what? For forever. It deserves to be brought back. In other words, a woot. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Next we have Project Athia, or Athia. I don't know how the hell to pronounce that name. They didn't show any gameplay, so I don't care. Number 6 is Stray. They showed next. And I went, oh, look at the cute little kitty, witty. That had some little kitty in a hoodie or wearing a backpack or whatever in this city full of robots. They didn't show any gameplay, so I don't care. And number 7, they start talking about some of the specs of the console. They talk about the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, the ultra high speed SSD, the ray tracing, haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, USB-C port. They say in the bottom left they call it a USB port. They don't mention it's USB-C. The reversible USB-C. That's good. Motion sensor. By the way, about the USB-C, hopefully I'm not the only one that's had that the problem where you put the USB in the one way, it doesn't work and then you put it in the other way, and then it still doesn't work, and then you put it back the other way, and then it works. It fits. That's weird. Anyway, they also mentioned the motion sensor, the built-in microphone, and integrated speaker. I thought it was kind of interesting. They said speaker, not speakers, as in plural, not plural speakers, just one speaker. I thought that was a bit odd. Because the PS4 controller, you plug in a headset to the controller and you get mono chat. You get mono sound through a chat, which is dumb because it's 2020. We don't use mono sound anymore. They have a headphone jack, or a headset jack. I like to call it a headphone jack. 2020, Sony gives us a headphone jack, and smartphones think it's too old timey and it's just out of date technology. And Sony's still giving us a headset jack because some of us just like to use wired headset. Some people just like to use wired headsets. And then 3D audio, that's cool. You should like that because, like I was saying about mono sound and headsets and stuff, you got mono sound, stereo, and then stereo plus a subwoofer, and then you got quadraphonic, which is 4 speakers, and then you got surround sound. You got 5.1 and 7.1 surround sound, and then 3D audio. So 3D audio is your surround sound, which you hear things on the side of you, on the left and right, and the front, like front sides, and the rear sides, and the front and the back, and then 3D audio adds sound above and below. So there's kind of all around your head, not just on the sides, but the top and underneath you and above you. The plane's going off. Instead of hearing a plane going above your head and you hear the sound on the left side, you hear it on top. It sounds more above you, is what 3D audio is, and that's cool. You should like that. Number 8 is Returnal. There's no gameplay, so I don't care. Number 9 is Sackboy: A Big Adventure. That's going to be on my purchase list if I decide to buy a PS5. I'm looking for certain games. A game can't just show. It's got to show more than just gameplay. It's got to be fun. You know, I view games. When I play a game, the gameplay should be like an all-you-can-eat buffet. I should be able to have whatever I want. I should be able to, when I play a game, I should be able to do whatever I want, look however I want, act however I want. If I'm talking to one of the NPCs that's part of the story and he's being an asshole, I should be able to beat the shit out of him for talking to me that way. I shouldn't have to just roll over and take it. I hate that crap. I'm tired of that crap. I'm tired of having to play games the way the developer intended them to be played, where my character is just this bitch that just has to do everything for everybody. I hate that. Okay. Then we have Destruction All-Stars. I don't like the art style, but I do like the gameplay. It's sort of Twisted Metal-like. It's like Twisted Metal and your favorite fighting game put together, is what it looked like. They didn't show any gameplay. They showed that cinematic, one of those cinematic gameplay trailers. But other than that, it looks fun. The next they had Kina, I believe that's how it's pronounced, Bridge of Spirits, the cute little puffball army game. That's cool. I like that. Cute little puffball army game. You lift up rocks and these little spirits come out or whatever, and they turn into a little puffball, about that big. I'm assuming it would be in real size. About that big, a little puffball. If you ever watched that movie, My Neighbor Totoro, or whatever, however you say it, I'm Midwest. I don't know. I can't roll my R's like that. But the little dust bunnies that you would see and they would stomp. Yeah, they look like that. They look like little black puffballs, little black dust bunnies. It's cool. I'm gonna get that game if I get a PS5. And next they showed some dinosaur high school game with no movie and no gameplay trailer. Not even a cinematic gameplay trailer. So I don't care. Next is Oddworld Soulstorm. I like Oddworld. The game's been around for a long time, long ass time. Probably since the PlayStation 1 or 2 or whatever, maybe longer than that. But game's too hard. I never really played any of the Oddworld games because they're too hard. I don't like games that are hard. I don't play games for a challenge. That's what life's for. You want a challenge, you go get a job. And try not to quit or get fired. That's your challenge. Games are supposed to be fun. I like games that I can beat. And next is Ghostwire. The game looks cool. They didn't show any gameplay, but they showed all these. I don't know. You're some sort of, like, I guess, ghost hunter or something, or spirit detective or whatever. And there's this. You see this Japanese. Oh, did I mention Ghostwire Tokyo? So it's based in Tokyo. You see this Japanese schoolgirl, with one of the schoolgirl outfits with no head, and she's flipping around and laughing and being creepy, and I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. They showed a trailer of this first person, and you see all these, like, spirits and shit, and you fight them off, and it looked cool, but they didn't show enough to I don't really have an opinion on. And next I have no fucking idea because they didn't show a name. If I remember right, it was that one game where you're like coming out of this cave and you're like a pilgrim or some stuff, and then all of a sudden you're in space. I don't know what the hell that game was about, but that doesn't look like anything I want to buy. Number 16, they showed Godfall, which looked like a hack and slash game by Gearbox. It didn't look like it was. It was a hack and slash game by Gearbox. One of my number one favorite genre of all time is hack and slash. I'm glad someone finally is making a hack and slash game. I can't wait to buy it. One of the things I hate about hack and slash games are the ones combat wise. It's I can't remember that one. It was by Ubisoft. But I hate those hack and slash games where it's all about you just you mash one button. All the combat is just based on one button, and you mash the shit out of it. And that's not a hack and slash game. You gotta have a quick attack, a light attack, a heavy attack, a special attack, and a charge attack. And you gotta have a dodge button, a duck button, and strafe buttons. And you gotta have this sort of menu of things, little menu of things to do. You know, quick, heavy, quick, light, quick, heavy, light, heavy, different combinations of all the different kinds of attacks you can do. I hope it's one of those games, one of the more complex hack and slash games, like Devil May Cry or something. I haven't played any in a while. I can't give you any examples, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Number 17 is Solar Ash. I have no idea what the hell that game was. You play as this sort of black spirit thing. It's black and hair, and you're wandering around. It's this walking simulator looking game. I don't know what the hell that was, but it looks kind of dumb. Next was Hitman 3. I don't really like Hitman. I bought one of the Hitman games and tried to buy it, and it wasn't fun. I don't care what anybody says. I don't like games where I have to try. I want to cut off my head and be able to play the game and have fun. I want something I can beat. That's something I have to work hard at. It's not a job. Gaming's not a job. It shouldn't be that hard. 19 is Astro's Playroom, and Astro is the little, the little, when you put on your VR goggles and you go to the playroom on the VR playroom on the PlayStation 4, the little robot comes up with the little antenna. Yeah, that's Astro. I didn't know he had a name. Looks like Super Mario Brothers in 3D, but still looks cool. I don't think I'll buy it. Little Devil Inside. 1 minute you see this kid, he's like fighting off demons and giant monsters and trying to survive, and then the next you see an old man taking a shit. I don't know. I don't know why that would be fun to whoop ass and then all of a sudden be taking a shit. I don't see why that's fun. And number 21. Next, they showed NBA 2K21. I don't care. They release a new NBA 2K every year, so I don't see why that needed to be shown. Number 2. Next was Bug Snacks, made by the people who made Octodad, where these little insects, these little, like you see, like a grape and a strawberry and a banana. They're like insects, and they move around, and you turn into the things that you eat, which is weird. I'm not buying that game. That's weird. Number 23, I was kind of disappointed. It was I don't remember the guy's name. The guy who started the whole PlayStation thing, who started the whole PlayStation console in the first place, came up and said he wanted to show something that was near and dear to him, and he showed Demon Souls. I thought it was going to be Legend of Dragoon. I'm a little disappointed. Fuck Demon Souls. I want Legend of Dragoon. I want a reboot of Legend of Dragoon, or a remake of the first one. A remake or an HD remake, or a complete reboot. And I want a sequel. Very disappointed. And next after that was Deathloop. That looks fun because it was published by Bethesda. It looks like Dishonored. It looks and plays sort of like Dishonored, which is one of my favorite games of all time. One of my favorite games. One of the reasons because you could dual wield. You could have a sword in one and a sword in one hand and a gun in the other. You shoot people from a distance and hack and slash away, and slice them up into little bitty pieces. That looks cool. That's going to be one of the games I buy if I buy a PS5. After that was I thought was a completely new game. Village was what it was called. It turned out to be Resident Evil 8. You play as Ethan. I think he was in oh no, did I say Resident Evil 8? I think I meant Resident Evil 7. Yeah, 6 or 7 or 8. I don't remember. But anyway, you play as Ethan, I'm assuming. And Chris Redfield is in it. I like him, but my favorite Resident Evil character is Leon. So if Leon's not in it, I probably won't buy it. And next was Pragmata or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. They didn't show any gameplay, so I don't care. Horizon Forbidden West, I don't care. Killzone is one of the games I'm waiting for. Killzone is made by the same people who made the Horizon games, and I want Killzone. And finally, they show off the console itself, which I thought it looked kind of cool. I thought it looked kind of like a sports car, but apparently it looks like a router. Apparently, it looks like a Wi-Fi router. So, the PlayStation 3 looked like a George Foreman grill, and the PlayStation 4 looked like some sort of double-decker school bus or double quarter-pounder, and the PlayStation 5 looks like a Wi-Fi router. I don't know why everybody makes fun of the way the console looks. I think it looked cool. I think it looks cool. I think there's something. Oh yeah, Ratchet and Clank, if I remember correctly, is made by Insomniac, which is the same people who made Resistance, Resistance Fall of Man, and Resistance 2 and 3. And I'm waiting for 4 or a reboot. I want a new game. I want another Resistance game. You gotta have Resistance and Killzone. Okay, those two games are your Halo and Gears of War, and you gotta have those games. I love those games. Okay, I want 1, 2, and 3 remastered, Resistance 1, 2, and 3 remastered one last time with trophies, and I want Resistance 4. Is that they released Resistance 1, 2, and 3 with no trophies on the PS3, and then they re-released them on the PS3, still no trophies. I don't know why, but that's dumb. They need to do what I say and have trophies. Oh, and I want another PlayStation Portable. By the way, that's one of the things I want. We're getting into the wish list stuff now. Things I liked and didn't like. I'm tired of the let's release a game and not show any gameplay and hope people buy it. If you don't show gameplay, I'm not going to buy it. And I'm tired of these games where like the story where you play as the main character and it's all sort of planned out. Like you have to do certain things a certain way, and your character is just the bitch that everybody that you're doing everybody else's work because you owe them a favor or you pissed them off, and you're not allowed to retaliate when you feel you should be able to, and just take over their base of operations and just dominate the whole area and just take over and be the boss. Why can't you ever be the boss in the game? Like what? Like if I play Godfather or Mafia, why can't I be the Don? You know, why can't I be the guy that says what goes on? You know, or like games like Call of Duty. I don't like this whole pick 10 system, or this whole you can only have a certain amount of attachments on your gun at the same time, and you have to give up other things to get something else. Why can't I just have what I want? Fuck, you're overpowered, okay? Just like some things, or why not separate them, and instead of just everything being an attachment, why not have upgrades and attachments? You know, upgrades can be permanent, and then you have attachments. Like an extended barrel, that's not an attachment. That's an upgrade. That should be permanent. I should be able to buy that and leave that on there. You know, and an attachment should be something that I have to give up. Or if that makes sense. Like I shouldn't have to give up a permanent upgrade to get an attachment. An upgrade is something I worked hard for and should be left alone. I don't understand that. If everybody can have something, it's not overpowered. You know, no, I'm just giving examples. You know, that I just and console wise, for some reason the PS4 will let you know when someone comes online, but they don't, but it doesn't show when they go offline, which I find stupid. I don't understand why that works. And the PS4 Pro is supposed to be better. Um, Let me know if I missed anything, but the PS4 Pro, all they did was add 1 gig of system RAM. I believe so. The operating system. I believe it's for the operating system. But somehow the PS4 Pro still sucks because sometimes it'll just lag and sometimes it'll freeze. Or just once in a while something just disconnects and just doesn't work right. And the Sony keeps trying to save money and cut corners by putting a cheap little Wi-Fi internet card in their system. So I don't know. Hopefully they change that. So to get a good stable connection, you have to plug it in through Ethernet to get a good stable connection, and hopefully they fix that in the PS5. I want them to put one of those Intel killer network cards in there. I think that would be cool. It needs the PlayStation 5 needs to have Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0, and it needs to have more USB ports in the front and the back, or at least the back, for hard drives. If they're going to make us, or if they're going to force us to install the whole entire game, they're going to have to give us a bigger hard drive, or they're going to have to give us more USB ports on the back so we can plug in external hard drives. And they need to use a quick charge for their controllers. They need to put a bigger battery in their controllers and their headsets. And it doesn't matter how long I'm going to play my PlayStation 4. I want to never have to worry about the battery. Because time flies when you're having fun. So like 4 to 8 hours can only feel like 3 when you're having a lot of fun. So they need to have bigger batteries. Because the PS4, they basically took the PS3 controller, they basically took the battery out of the PS3 controllers and stuck it in the PS4 and didn't do any sort of upgrade. So that's annoying. And I hope they don't force people to install the whole game on their console. Because if they do that, they're going to have to add like a 1 to 2 terabyte SSD in that thing, and that's going to be expensive. It wouldn't make sense to put a 500 gigabyte SSD in there. You buy like 5 or 6 games that are about like 50 to 60, about 100 gigs each. Especially with 4K, because one thing you gotta understand: the higher the resolution of the game, the more memory it's gonna take on your hard drive. So they're gonna have to have a really, really big hard drive in the console, or stop making people install the whole game. At least for like offline. If it's an offline story only game, I shouldn't have to, that's not fair. I think that's asking too much of the customers. I don't know. There just wasn't anything besides Ratchet and Clank and Sackboy and Destruction All Stars Godfall. And Deathloop. There wasn't really anything here I liked. I don't know. Some people don't like the fact that the PlayStation 5 is white. I'm glad it's a different color for a change. I'm tired of everything being black. Everything's black. Even my soul at this point is black, and it's no. I want a red console. I want things to be red. Because red is my favorite color. You know, the iPhone that they give the color, the iPhone, for example, they give the color red to the cheap phone. So you have the money to get the expensive phone, but you want a red phone. Stupid. So that's all that I can think of. That's what I got for the PlayStation 5. I don't know. I just want like games wise. I just want more. I want more hardcore. You know, I want games, more games like Doom. I want more gore. I want to punch someone in the face and rip their head. I want to punch someone in the chest and rip their heart out and make them eat it. And you know, I want gore. I want more blood. I want more attachments. I want more upgrades. I want more customization. You know, I want the story of the game to be about me and how I play the game. That's how the game should be. Another game I want Infamous. I want Infamous 3. That's another game I want. Infamous Second Son sucked. Hey, I don't want to take other people's powers. I want my power to get better. You know, instead of smoke isn't a power. Fire is a power. So he should start out as throwing smoke and stuff and then turn into fire. And then you can have Infamous 3 come out, and then you can have like a lightning versus fire kind of thing. And bring back the player choices and pick who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. And so I don't know. I just know I haven't been playing. I haven't been playing hardly any games because there's just nothing I like. You know, I want to play the game my way, and I'm not being able to do that. So hopefully hopefully somebody will make a game that I like that will satisfy me.